Harold Houdini was one of the greatest escape artists probably of all time. He was able to get out of anything, any handcuff, any lock. They put him in cages, they put him in drums, they put him over waterfalls. He got out of every prison, but there was one place that he was not able to get out of. More on the other side of this mentoring moment. Hi, I'm Dr. Berin Gilfillan. Welcome to another mentoring moment, and today we're going to speak about the power of the parable. We're in a series on the power principles of life. They all begin with the letter P, and the power of the parable is probably one of the most important principles that I could ever share with you. I want to just start off by bringing a scripture into play. It says this in Matthew 13:34. It says, "All these things Jesus spoke to the multitude in parables, and without a parable he did not speak to them." And that's in Matthew 13:34. Charles Spurgeon made this point. He said, when you're speaking to a group of people, whenever you're doing a sermon, doing any type of public speaking, this is what he said. He said, never make a point without telling a story, and never tell a story without making a point. Now, if Jesus himself, it says that he without a parable, he did not speak to them, that then when Jesus was speaking to crowds and he was illustrating and speaking to multitudes, without a parable, he did not speak to them. Jesus spoke in parables. And if we want to be effective in our communication, we have to learn to speak in parables too. It's so important to use illustrations and to become a student of illustrations. All of our society, we love movies, we love plays, we love riddles, we love anything that engages us in a story, engages us in a narrative or some sort of plot, some sort of mystery. We just love that, but so much of our culture is based on that. In fact, in many cultures, stories are the way that even truth is communicated generation to generation. I really, in this principle, want to just challenge you, become a student of stories. I have been collecting stories. Every time I hear a good story, a good parable, a good illustration, I collect it. And I started with one. I'm going to end it in a few minutes with the solution of what actually happened with Harold Houdini. But these are the kinds of books that I look for. This one's called The Greatest Stories Never Told, and I will mine a book like this. One of the stories I got out of here was how the whole dropping of the atomic bomb came from the premier of Japan using one word, makusatsu. That one word, he used it and it was an ambiguous word, and it was interpreted by one group of the press in the wrong type of way. That went over to the U.S., and it's mokusatsu was the actual word, and Truman actually read the wrong way. He did not intend it to be that way, but he dropped the atomic bomb based on the use of one word, and it was interpreted in the wrong way by the press. And just illustrating how we need to be careful with our words. I love this book. It's the story from the extreme teen's heart. Incredible stories. And then there's one story in here that I love called The 57 Cents, and how a little girl in the turn of the 19th century, she gave an offering of 57 cents. So after she died, they found the offering, and they took that 57 cents and inspired the building of, Temple University, Temple Baptist Church, a Good Samaritan Hospital. So much came from 57 cents, and just how a little girl's sacrificial gift of 57 cents caused such a huge, huge inspiration. Another book here called The Amazing Stories. I just mine stories. I love stories. I listen to sermons, and I'm taking notes. I go on my phone and I just mark in there. I mark good proverbs and good type of modern day type of sayings, things that Mandela said, things that Gandhi said, the things that I love to just to use very succinct and very powerful type of proverbs, even modern day, olden day. They're just so powerful. And I was with Reinhard Bonke for so many years in Africa, and Reinhard was just a master storyteller. Had some fantastic stories. I mined a huge number of stories from Reinhard because I saw how they just captivated the people, and the people loved them, and they just were hanging on his every word as he told these stories. Every time you hear a story that really touches you, write it down. Like, create some sort of catalog. I used to put these what can I say, little statements, proverbs. I put them into tweets, and I would put them in. And most of my Twitter feed at ceoisom.org is all quotes. It's quotes from famous people, and those are some things that you can throw them into these illustrations. But parables are incredibly, incredibly important. The chicken soup books are very, very good. And the other thing that Jesus used a lot when it comes to parables was nature. He used animals. He used the sheep, and he used the goats, and he used, so many of the illustrations from nature of things that people see around them, about the weather and what they tell us. And if you look at so many of the illustrations, they're from nature as well. So we need to just become a student of stories, student of proverbs, a student of quotes, a student of just building a library of these type of things for your own use, and then weave them into stories. And I just want to say this is what Spurgeon says, is that don't just tell a story just to get people's attention. It's nice to do that, but you try and use the story to make a point. I'll be closing off with the Houdini story. You'll get to hear the point out of the story that I just bring there. But I just want to challenge you. Become a student of stories. Become a user of parables. Because if Jesus didn't tell anything without a parable, we need to use parables to teach and to speak to other people. So until next time, God bless you. As I shared at the beginning, Harold Houdini was probably the greatest escape artist, probably of all time. He was able to get out of any type of lock, any handcuff, any chain. They put him in boxes. They put him in cages. They put him over waterfalls and barrels and drums. I mean, he got out of everything. He could get out of any single lock. There was one location that he was not able to get out of. And they put him in a prison in the southern part of Italy. And he was there to test the prison, whether people could escape from it. And he worked for 3 hours, and he just tried everything he knew. And finally he gave up and said, I cannot break this lock, and I cannot get out of this prison. Well, the reason why was that the prison door was actually already open. It was never actually locked. The only prison that he had was in his mind, that he thought it was locked. And that's an application we have in so many other areas of our lives, where we think something and that thought becomes the lock that holds us in. And so often Jesus said the truth will make you free. When we understand the truth, when we understand the door's already open, then it's easy to get out. And that's a principle that will apply in many and other areas of your life. So until next time, God bless you.